Welcome, everyone. My name is Shawn Jones, and I'm the CEO of the iNetrepreneur Network. And with me, I have an incredible individual. She has had a career over the decades of being there to help others, whether it's been on a real humanitarian level, personal, through helping entrepreneurs achieve their greatest success and find what I call the diamonds in their databases. I have with me founder, owner, creator of Network Builders. I have Miss Jackie Zoccoli. Jackie, welcome.
Thank you, Shawn. It's always good speaking with you. We always come up with something ingenious between the two of us.
We certainly do. Jackie, as you know, I always love to find out a little bit about the person behind the business. I mean, having our businesses and knowing that we help other entrepreneurs is wonderful, but sometimes it's about getting to know that person a little bit, their passion, their why, and what drives them into what they do today. So share with us a little bit about who is Jackie Zoccoli.
Well, if you really stop and think about it, I used to use this as a coined phrase, and I'm coming back to it because it really is my passion, is to be the catalyst for spontaneous combustion. And that lights the picture of being able to put people together and knowing what both of them do, each of them does as far as their brilliance in their occupation, whatever their sphere of influence is, and to put them together in such a way that that will literally be combustible, in that it will bring people to a whole new area because they're doing it together. And that really is my passion in life, is to bring people together. And I do that all over the globe, in 10 countries as well as our own. And the way that it really resonates mostly with me is the fact that so many times people do not have a clue the benefit, the bonus of actually working with someone else. They think they can do it all by themselves. And so I do my darndest to make sure they understand the absolute wonder of doing it with somebody else. So I always come to the conversation on Zoom or whatever with my database in my brain. And the only real thing that I'm concerned about is to find out their expertise and their need, and to look in the database in my brain as to find out who I can put on their path. That is my main focus. And by doing that, it tends to be a giving effort. Obviously, I'm not asking for anything. And when you give those resources, why would they go anywhere else? They'll be back with you. And eventually people tend to ask, what is it you need? And when that obvious question comes up, then I will tell them that I'm there to build alliance teams with them and for them so they can be as productive as possible. That's pretty much the essential me.
Now, you've owned Network Builders for a number of years. What was that catalyst moment that brought you to say, this is what I am destined to do?
That's an interesting one. Probably working with you would have been something that would have made a lot more sense to me, you and Robert, as you pioneered what you're doing more. And I began to see specifically the challenges that people have, and they just have no clue as to what relationships can do and how to build them. When I saw it in the depth that you two provided, in the constant places to be and the things to do, I began to see that I really could have more of an impact. So I think if you were looking at the whole being in Arizona thing, now I've been doing this since the 90s. So if you take into effect the whole gamut of things, it was when I started my own business and realized that, oh my gosh, I had to teach or had to talk to people. You're kidding, really, are you kidding me? And then I realized the value of one person knows at least 600. And then I began to craft the message of the expertise and the need and how to literally work with them. So I would say that my network builder Arizona phase was mostly being with you guys and you as a team, not guys, you as a team to see more business owners and to be able to assist them.
Now, you work with business owners from a variety of industries. And I'm sure that you would agree that there is some type of consistency among business owners that they seem to have similar struggles in a particular area. Maybe it's one or two different areas. What are some of the typical struggles that you find business owners, entrepreneurs have when you start working with them, and how do you help them overcome those obstacles?
Well, I think now more than any other time, especially since 2020, is that we are now realizing both the benefit and the struggle of being online and virtual. That said, everyone knows that they need to get the word out about what they're doing. We used to be able to go to networking groups and that would be okay, and that would work to a certain degree if they knew what they were doing. But now that most of the events are virtual still, thank heavens, then we're able to, they still have to figure it out. They don't know how to relate to people. They know that there are forces such as LinkedIn, which only has 756 million members, and that's totally overpowering. They realize they need to do something there because there are so many to work with. And what they don't realize, and that I wish for them to realize, is they can be doing intentional networking, not just going to virtual events, throwing it against the wall and hoping somebody pays attention. Instead, go find the alliances they know work, and they are intentionally finding them. They're not leaving it to chance or maybe a good day. And so that cleaning up of LinkedIn, taking it from 756 million to 1 or 2 or as many as they would like at one point, one time. We actually spend time in a Clarity from Chaos session where I bring out their best alliances. I say, what do you think about this kind? What about this? So I make LinkedIn a lot easier to work with, a lot more devoted to what you really can get out of it. And it makes relationship building so much more effective because you're really talking to the people who are talking your same language. So I think that's what, in fact, I've been told that the clarity and the step-by-step how to approach them, how to work with them, what to do after you've made the agreement. All of these things are confusing to business owners and they know they need to do it. I just make it clear.
It's interesting. You bring up how large of a community LinkedIn is, and it's a virtual platform. That's all it is. It's just a way for people to connect, and it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of automated tools out there that randomly send messages to people, to businesses, and for the sole purpose of, I just want to pitch you my next pitch. That's it. Pitch, pitch, pitch. And a lot of people are getting fed up with that type. So what are some, working with your clients, what are some things that you point out, some golden nuggets? You know, we don't want you to give away all your secrets, but what are a couple of golden nuggets that you teach people on how to avoid being that spammy messenger?
Well, the obvious is that you're not there to sell. And if people think that LinkedIn's where you're to sell, I think they're totally off the wall. They're not paying attention. LinkedIn is to create alliances. That's the strongest part of LinkedIn. So as long as the message is collaboration, what can we do together? People are going to pay attention. So I would say that would be the first concept. The second is, what's in your toolbox? What are you offering these people in exchange for letting them tell their audience, which is yours as well, how remarkable you are? What are you offering? And I'll just show you a real quick example. Stephanie Fallon, who is, I think she's a member, as far as I know, she's a member. Anyhow, she talked with me a couple of weeks ago. We did a lot, like a year ago. And I said, what's in your toolbox, Stephanie? She said, well, my toolbox is filled with all the people I know that are focusing on special needs. And I went, I hadn't even considered that as part of your toolbox.
Yeah.
And that's huge. That's huge. She works with special needs kids all over the place. She's got a resource. This group does this, group's on disabilities, this group's on autism, this group's on whatever.
Yeah.
That's what she offers. I said, Stephanie, that opens up my whole realm. That really is, because people are always trying to think, what can I put in that toolbox? Well, I could do a quick tips sheet. Maybe we could do a webinar. Maybe I have a book. They could use a book. That would be possible. Listen, pay attention to the people who are your alliances. Knowing them is the very best thing you can put in your toolbox. I remember when I started out in the 90s, I thought, I don't want to buy everybody's insurance. I don't want to have to buy their products. I can't afford this game. I just can't. And then I realized what was even more valuable than being a customer to them was to be an alliance with them, or to offer them alliances, people that were going in the same direction. Then they would always give them a customer. So it just all made so much more sense to me when I realized that the responsibility was mine to give them people, to give them resources. And then it opened up everything, totally opened everything.
Absolutely. Jackie, if somebody who is a business owner, entrepreneur, is wanting to dive more and understand how they can create their toolbox, formulate their alliances, kind of weed the what works, what does no longer serve, how can they get in contact with you and book a discovery session with Network Builders of Arizona?
Well, as you see from my name, that's my email on the screen. Also, if you bring out my formal name, JACLYN ZOCCOLI.com, you can get a hold of me there. And what I recommend is what I call a clarity from chaos session. So either way of those is to get a hold of me. I'm not going to give you the Calendly link. That's way too much. However, either of those would do it. And I'm more than happy to spend an hour on Zoom flushing out the alliances, flushing out who I know. And typically I have to stop myself at one or two, because they just flood into my brain once I'm talking to you. I tend to give away the store. So I have to just relate to a couple of them. And then should you do my LinkedIn illumination, which is the process that I just said of cleaning up the profile, making it clear, making it very easy to understand the results of coming together, and then step by step how to work with each person that could be an alliance so they engage with you. So the clarity goes to that step.
Wonderful. Jackie, I want to thank you so much for being here today, for sharing how you're helping business owners and entrepreneurs, not just here in Arizona, but anywhere in the world, because LinkedIn is such a powerful tool. Having alliances, but not just having the alliances, understanding how you can work together for the betterment of everyone around. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you, Sean. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. We always bring out different things that I love.
We certainly do. For those of you who have just watched the interview of Jackie Zoccoli, she is the owner, founder, creator, and the person behind Network Builders of Arizona. Jackie is also one of our speakers at the upcoming Art of Connection Global Summit happening on March 31st. If you would like to hear more from Jackie or even go through one of her several workshops that she will be hosting at the event on March 31st, go to artofconnectionsummit.com.